Imagine for a moment that every story you ever heard, from the oldest Greek myth to the most recent Star Wars movie, followed a predictable pattern. Imagine that there's a recipe for making a hero's story that you can follow to make heroes feel alive and real. This is the core discovery of Joseph Campbell as he studied every mythical hero story he could find. The pattern was beneath the scenes of the story, and it's one that even the likes of George Lucas used in his epic Star Wars movies. You can use the same pattern to write compelling content for your organization without being overly dramatic. As Campbell laid it out, the story has 12 stages. However, there are 3 main phases that you can create, particularly if your story is designed to create engagement rather than be a best-selling book or blockbuster movie. Making from a mentor. The first scene of the story shows the hero's world as it is now before revealing the call to adventure. The hero refuses the initial call to adventure before meeting with a mentor and finally accepting the call and beginning the journey. This initial phase of the journey reveals the first internal conflict of the hero in the desire to change the status quo. There's a fear about what that change will mean and whether they will have what it takes to make the change. The test. Once the hero has crossed the threshold of change, they have entered a special world where it seems like they get swept up in the action, but the undercurrent is always how the hero is transforming themselves in the process. As they move to the ultimate challenge, they discover what they're made of and what their capabilities are. Invariably, they fail on their initial attempt at change and need to find a way to persevere and find some inner strength or capacity that they didn't know they had before. Mastery. When they take on a challenge for the second time, they've returned to the real world to change not just their situation, but change the world for everyone. They've reached up to conquer the challenge and return the reward to the rest of the world. Your hero's story. In every organization, there are struggles. If you're not fighting with competitors, then you're scratching for customers. If you're not climbing the mountain of delivering more value, then you're smoothing the creation process to reduce costs. The mundane and the trivial are all a part of this larger hero's story. The hero is your organization, the team, the tribe. When you're communicating with the organization, you can articulate how you want to change the world, the challenges you'll have to conquer, and how you'll bring the new world to everyone. If you can't, you may want to follow the same steps by answering just a few questions. Under making from a mentor, how did you come to realize that this is the struggle that the organization or team needs to address? How do you know that the time to change is now and that you're the team to do it? The test. What's the big challenge that must be tackled first? How do you cope with an initial failure to reach the final reward? Mastery. How will the world be different once you've accomplished the mission? What rewards await everyone? Creating a business story isn't impossible if you're willing to follow a well-trodden path.